So ever since Sir Jim Ratcliffe was linked with the takeover of Manchester United, it has been reported that he would love to turn Manchester United into a football club built around homegrown talents. So I thought today we would look at a load of different homegrown players which Manchester United could sign in the summer. But first of all, we need to figure out what homegrown actually means. So here's a quick definition. Homegrown player, someone who, irrespective of nationality or age, has been registered with any FA affiliated club for at least 3 years before their 21st birthday, or the end of the season during which he turns 21. So that is the sort of player which Sir Jim Ratcliffe reportedly wants to sign, someone who has been in England for a long time in their career. Now what we're going to do today is ignore the kind of obvious recent links, which is Jared Branthwaite, Michael Olise, players like that. We're going to avoid that and go for some slightly different shouts, some of them cheaper, some of them more expensive. Let's just get into it. There's going to be 10 of these guys. First up, 26-year-old fullback Kyle Walker-Peters. Now I say fullback rather than a specific side because he is very tactically versatile. He can play on the right-hand side of the defence or on the left-hand side. Currently he plays for Southampton in the Championship, and I don't know how much Championship football you guys watch, but trust me, he's just way too good for the Championship. He's making it look easy. So easy. So like I said, he brings that tactical versatility, which could be perfect if you're looking for a backup fullback. Someone who can play both sides is really useful for a squad like United, who want to compete on all fronts. In terms of what you get from a technical point of view, first of all, you've got a good defender here. He's good in 1-versus-1 scenarios, but he really thrives on the ball. Again, showing versatility. He can be an overlapping fullback into the final third, looking to put crosses into the box, or he can be more of an inverted fullback, moving into midfield, showing his technical nous. Now, in terms of what he does on the ball, he's a really good ball carrier. He likes to drive forward with the ball, try and dribble past players as well, but also a good passer. In terms of price, I'm not too sure how much he would cost, but coming from the Championship club, you wouldn't really expect it to be that expensive, and he's almost always been linked with a move to a bigger side. And I think he's at a stage in his career now, 26 years old, where he needs that move. If Manchester United need a backup fullback, he wouldn't be a bad option at all. Next up, 17-year-old Archie Gray, who can play either as a fullback or a midfielder, currently at Leeds United. Now, through the academy, he came through as a midfielder. However, this season he has played at right back on several occasions, again showing tactical versatility, which is really good for a squad player, someone who can come into the side and fill a few different roles. But personally, I like him more as a midfielder, and I think that is where his long-term future will be. Why? Because he is press resistant. Really good at evading pressure in the middle third of the pitch, taking the ball under pressure, wiggling away and then carrying the ball forward. But of course, also being a midfielder, he's a really good passer. Just 17 years old, he's doing well to make such a statement in the Championship this season. And he's a player who I can see going from strength to strength over the next couple of years. He's a good presser, he knows how to press high. Give him a couple of years to kind of grow into his frame and, you know, mature a little bit on the ball and out of possession as well. And I think you got yourself a really good player. Now, of course, the question would be, does a young Leeds fan really want to leave Leeds to join Manchester United? I'm not too sure, but he's certainly a good talent and someone which I could see United signing for, you know, a pretty cheap fee before then perhaps loaning elsewhere in the Premier League for a couple of seasons. Perhaps someone like Bournemouth could take Archie Gray on loan, and then he comes back to United in a few years' time. He's another really good homegrown talent. For this next player, we're coming back to the Premier League. 23-year-old Mark Guehi, who I'm sure you have all heard of, came through the Chelsea Academy, now at Crystal Palace, and for me is one of the best young ball-playing defenders in the Premier League. You hear that? Ball playing, unbelievably composed with the ball at his feet. Right-footed, but often playing on the left-hand side of the defence. He's comfortable using his left foot as well. But what I really like about Guehi more than anything is just that he is so composed. He just never seems rushed. He plays the game completely at his own pace, and that's a really good trait for a young defender to have. And I think, again, he's another player who is really ready for a big move to a top side, a side which is playing in Europe, and hopefully that will be Manchester United next season. Playing in Europe, Guehi is ready for that sort of move. Recently playing for the England team on a regular basis, I think he's a really good player. Of course, defensively, he's also strong as well. Not necessarily the most, you know, the tallest centre-back in the world that you're ever going to see, but he's still strong in the air, strong in the challenge, good at defending the channels, a good communicator and also a good leader at the back. Overall, just a really good player, which is absolutely ready for the move. Is Manchester United the right club for him? Not sure, perhaps watch him over the next 6 months or so and then decide. For this next player, we're going back down to the Championship and a player that we have spoken about on the channel before a couple of months ago, Nathan Wood, currently playing at Swansea. Really good young defender. Pace, athleticism, strength in duels, strength in the air, but then ball playing ability, natural pauser on the ball, and a natural born leader. This is literally the mould of your perfect modern day centre-back. There's literally nothing he can't do. Currently plays on the left-hand side of the defence, although once again is right-footed and can play either side. Really good with both feet, and pauser to his game. Understanding of taking your time on the ball to open up space for a teammate before then releasing the pass. He's unbelievably good on the ball and also good with a nice little long pass over the top as well. In terms of defensively, this is a ground eater. Someone who munches up the space behind him, so if a ball is played over the top, he's going to be there to cover it. And then importantly, when it comes to box defence, really strong in the air. You always see him kind of pushing and pulling his teammates into position to make sure they are in the right areas. Really key to the organisation of the back line. Nathan Wood is an unbelievably good young talent who I think will be really affordable this summer, and I'm certain he will move in the summer to a Premier League club. Will it be Manchester United or will it be someone just that step below? Not too sure, but if you want to take a gamble on a potentially really good centre-back, Nathan Wood is the place you go.
So before we continue into the video, a quick shout out to today's video sponsor, JerseyFIFA.com, the home of all of the greatest football kits. Whether that be the new latest releases or the old classic ones like this, Jersey FIFA has something for everyone, and now you can check it out yourself using the link in the description down below. And also make sure to use code JerseyFIFA for 10% off when you order.
Here we now have a far more experienced and established centre-back, and that is Fic Tomori, now 26 years old, currently playing in AC Milan. Another defender which actually came through the Chelsea Academy before getting his big move, and he's always been linked with a move back to the Premier League to a top 6 club. However, he's never quite kind of taken that next step on his career, but perhaps now could be the time for that next big step in his career. In terms of what you get a really well-rounded centre-back. He's tall, strong and really good in the air, but also got brilliant recovery pace. Again, someone who can play in a high line, cover that ground behind him really comfortably. He can play on the left side or the right side of defence once again, despite being right-footed. Really two-footed and able to play the ball out from the back, and that's what I like about him. His technical quality is very, very good, particularly his long passing. He's not someone who necessarily wants to play, tons of short passes between the lines and things like that. This is more someone who keeps it fairly simple at the back, but then likes to go quite direct at times, hitting wingers in behind, hitting the forward in behind. Really nice with the way that he plays. So perhaps if you pair him with Lisandro Martinez, who plays a little bit shorter range passing, and then you've got Tomori who goes a bit more direct over the top, could be a really nice combination. For Tomori, is it now that he makes the move? Is he the sort of player which can play for a big club? I'm not too sure, because he does have errors in him. But if you want a homegrown talent, Tomori is definitely on the list for Manchester United. Another player who is reportedly already on the shortlist for Manchester United is 21-year-old Middlesbrough midfielder Hayden Hackney. Now, a lot of you probably don't know about this guy, but he's actually a really good young talent, represented the England under-21 side. In central midfield, he's a really good player and a really good ball progressor, constantly looking to get the ball moving forward. Sometimes that comes at the expense of losing possession, but overall, he is a good ball progressor, mainly with quick short passing. He loves to play that kind of vertical tiki-taka sort of style, getting the ball, passing to someone else, making a forward movement, receiving the pass again, then passing it off to someone else, again moving, receiving the ball, moving the ball up the pitch like that, and he is really effective in doing that. And then of course he also brings a creative output in the final third. In terms of defensively, you've got yourself a really tenacious midfielder here. Not necessarily the biggest or the strongest in the world, but he makes up for that with his bite. He is tenacious, he's high energy, he loves to press high up the pitch, he loves to track back, put tackles in, interceptions. He's just an annoying player to play against, really. That guy who's always ratting about in the midfield, trying to win the ball back for his side, but then of course possessing the technical ability to get the ball down and play. Really good young 21-year-old midfielder who, again, I think will get a move to the Premier League this summer. Will it be United? Not too sure, but again, absolutely watch him. A player who has already taken that next step in his career is 23-year-old Morgan GibbsWhite, currently playing for Nottingham Forest. What a player. What a player. We saw it in full effect against Manchester United the other week. This is a really good attacking midfielder who wants to be a maverick for his side, carry the ball forward, be direct in transition, provide that creativity in the final third with that final pass, but also goal-scoring threat, particularly from outside the box. He's really good at picking the ball up before bending a shot into the far corner. Really effective in the way that he attacks. But what I really like about Morgan GibbsWhite is actually his mentality. He comes across as a leader. And again, we've seen the clips from the game against United where he's saying that United players didn't really fancy it. He's a really good leader, really tenacious, and someone which works hard for his side. He will press all day long. The amount of ground he gets through is kind of ridiculous, actually, considering he's got such talent as well technically on the ball. The fact that he matches that with, work rate, hard work out of possession is really, really impressive. The only problem for Morgan GibbsWhite in terms of moving to United is there's kind of a Bruno Fernandes in the way. But Morgan GibbsWhite is versatile. He can play deeper in midfield, he can play as an attacking midfielder, and he can also play out wide. And what I love more than anything is that ball carrying ability. United don't have it. Morgan GibbsWhite has it in abundance. If we didn't have Bruno Fernandes, I would be all over wanting this guy. Should United still do it anyway? Let me know what you think in the comments. Another player who is probably in a similar boat is Eze, 25 years old, currently playing for Crystal Palace. Came through in a championship with Reading and is a really good talent, really good on the ball. And again, he's that technical attacking midfielder, someone who wants to receive the ball on the half turn in midfield, drop a shoulder and then carry the ball forward, glide past his opponents before looking to create something in the final third. And I tell you what, he's not half bad at doing that, regularly beating his man and then just slipping that ball perfectly through the eye of the needle for his striker to run onto. And again, someone like Rasmus Højlund could really enjoy playing with that. Again, for Eze, the problem would be Bruno Fernandes would be ahead of him at United. Although I wonder Eze, just being perhaps that quality below, would perhaps be more accepting of more of a squad role at a big club. I think he's got a lot of talent. I'm not sure he's ever going to be the top level though. However, as a backup player, a squad player, he certainly has a lot to bring to any side in the Premier League, Manchester United included. Set pieces as well is something you should really watch out for. His delivery into the box is absolutely brilliant. So Eze is another one, probably not as high on my list personally, but still a really good player. Speaking of really good players, Ivan Toney would be top of my list for Manchester United striker targets if it wasn't for the massive price tag. How much would Ivan Toney cost? Probably north of £70 million. For a 27-year-old, that is obviously quite a lot of money, but boy, oh boy, he is absolutely incredible. The closest thing to Harry Kane that the Premier League has seen over the past few seasons. Unbelievably good at being that focal point and the linking striker for the rest of the attack. So you want to counter-attack, you go along to Ivan Toney, he gets the ball into his feet, he turns and then sprays passes forward. He is unbelievably good at this. Imagine Marcus Rashford getting on the end of one of those passes. It would be absolutely incredible. Of course, himself in the final third, he's not half bad. Really good at putting the ball into the back of the net, whether that be with his head, volleys, anything, ground finishes, finesses into the far corner. He can do it all. Low finishes into the near post. Literally everything. Also penalties as well. He's a really good penalty taker. Overall, Ivan Toney is just a wonderful talent. Again, he would be top of my list for United targets if it wasn't for the massive price tag, which I think probably would put any club off. But if you want a ready-made striker who can take your club to the next level, Ivan Toney is absolutely that guy. And of course, homegrown. The last player on this list is essentially the more affordable version of Ivan Toney. Dominic Solanke, a little bit younger, 26 years old, and certainly more affordable, but brings a lot of the same strengths. This is a target man, a guy you can go long to, into his chest. He's going to hold the ball up, he's going to battle the centre-backs all day long. He gave Harry Maguire a pretty torrid time the other week, and, you know, Maguire's had a really good season. Big, strong, physical defender. Solanke made life really difficult for him. He occupies two centre-backs all the time. He's unbelievably good in the air, bringing the ball down, but then, of course, playing as well. But in particular, his ball carrying. He's not necessarily someone who always wants to get the ball and spray passes. He wants to get the ball, get his head down, and then drive. Again, a powerful runner, big stride length, strong legs, drives past his opponents before then producing in the final third. His goal output this season, absolutely incredible. You can see the stats in the Premier League, one of the top scorers this season. And like I said, I do think he would be much more affordable because Bournemouth probably can't demand as much money as what other clubs can. Solanke, as a backup striker to a Rasmus Højlund, would be the dream if he's affordable. He is really very good in that area. Never quite managed to break in at the top level. You know, he struggled at Chelsea, he struggled at Liverpool, despite always being touted as one of the best young strikers around. Maybe a bit of a late bloomer. He's really coming into his element right now and is a great striker and another great option. So that is 10 different homegrown talents which Manchester United could sign under Sir Jim Ratcliffe. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Which of these players do you like the most? For me, it would probably be Nathan Wood or maybe Hayden Hackney would be the two that I would be looking at. Bringing in and then maybe loaning and then bringing it into the first team of the season after that. But let me know what you think of all the players in general, but also some of the players that I missed. And also, while you're down here in the comments, go a little bit higher and subscribe to a channel as well. That would be greatly, greatly appreciated. I want to hit 22,000 subscribers by the end of the month. Please help. But apart from that, we are finished for today. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you have enjoyed it. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.